Welcome to Instant Adventures with Monte Good Games. I am Sean Reynolds. I am a designer-developer at MCG. I worked on the revised Cypher System rulebook, on Numenera 2, on a bunch of the new Numenera releases. I was a developer on the original Numenera. I was one of the co-creators of Pathfinder. I worked on 3rd edition D&D, Forgotten Realms, Greyhawk, World of Darkness, a zillion other things. I was there when they stormed the beach at Normandy. When Gary Gygax and Dave Arneson were like rolling the dice for the very first time. So I go back a little bit. We're here to do an instant adventure. Which of you have watched the video or been to a previous instant adventure? Oh, interesting. Okay, good. So this is going to be fresh for some of you. What we're going to do in this is I'm going to talk to you, and we are going to come up with a genre and a general plot for what adventure we're going to do today. The players are out there, they have no idea what genre or plot it's going to be. They have their characters, which are just very, very basic characters, and we're going to come in, and we're just going to throw a scenario at them, and we're going to play through it and have some fun. I've got ciphers, I've got XP cards, they all have their microphones, they're all good to go. We're going to have them introduce themselves when they're ready. Are you here for entertainment, or are you here to learn about how to do an instant adventure?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I was just talking to one of the players. Is my friend Ray that I went to school. I was at TSR with, and we were just kind of talking about how the trick of improv is that you're not really improving so much. Like you need to have like a catalog of things that you've already mentally prepared, kind of like a bunch of half-built Lego sets behind you. And then when someone says, make a house, you're like, and house, or and the Death Star. So it's really just having a catalog of interesting game snippets that you've already thought about. And that could be something from your favorite comic book, or part of an adventure that you read or wrote a long time ago, or a cool TV show that you like. And it's like, you know, if you're just doing a pickup adventure like this, or something that your friends are like, you're gonna run a game for us tonight, you're like, crap, I don't know what I'm doing. Just grab a couple of plot elements, mix them together, and you have to kind of roll with whatever the players do. The players they're gonna go left turn, they're gonna go right turn, they're gonna go off the rails because there are no rails. And you just have to roll with it. And so, one of the nice things about the Cypher system is that it's very fluid, and you can just use instant adventures to steer people like generally towards the plot that you're talking about, or let them just go whole hog off in a different direction. So for this one, let's see, 2 years ago when we did the last instant adventure, when we did the last panel of this, we ended up having a game where the players were wizards who worked for the mafia. And they were going shopping for the mafia boss's daughter who was getting married, and they had all forgot to get presents, so it was them at a mall. The previous game was a superhero game, and it was very silly, and they had like a talking dog, that sort of thing. So having done those two things really, I think I'd like to avoid superheroes for this one, and avoid like noir mafia sort of topics for this one. But I do have a possible suggestion. I just finished writing Stay Alive, the horror book for the Cypher system, and so I have a lot of horror on my mind. I think it'd be okay if we did like a Scooby-Doo level of horror, nothing too scary. Is everybody okay with doing a little bit of horror maybe?
Yeah.
Okay. I think in terms of squickiness for this, I would like to limit it to, just because there are a lot of triggers for some people. Like, I don't want to have like, you know, babies flying out of faces or anything like that. So let's say, anybody have a problem with ghosts? Cool. Anybody have a problem with spiders? Okay. Anybody have a problem with, say, and let's say just a wild card, say demons, like having demons show up in a game. Are you okay with that? Cool. Okay, so then those will be our possible additional elements of this, because horror is really a flavor. You can have a horror science fiction game, you can have a horror modern game, horror historical game, whatever you like. So, how about we just start coming up with some ideas for like a genre? Campy, okay, but campy is
Wild West.
Campy Wild West, excellent, that's a good idea. Any other suggestions?
Haunted house.
Haunted house. How about Old West haunted house? All right, so got the general genre, spooky house. I mean, it makes sense. I kind of led you to that without meaning to. Old West haunted house. Who are the PCs? Are they
Teenagers?
teenagers? Are they
Accident.
They're in a nursing home.
Small business owner.
Small business
I'm into small business owners.
We have somebody who like is a scholar who's interested in researching spiders at that location, doesn't know the house, thinks the house is like good location for looking for those spiders, has no idea on it, of course.
That's good. I like that combo. I have added a little bit of supernatural element to every single character, so we can have a little bit of weird ghost interaction. There's going to be a little bit of chaos because basically it's me giving me a back end for doing some really weird GM intrusions for these characters, and also for the players to have a kind of a go-to for doing a weird player intrusion. All right, so Old West, haunted house, spiders, demons, and ghosts. They are entrepreneurs, small business owners, and they don't know that the house is haunted. Perhaps they are trying to investigate this place because maybe they're trying to harvest these spiders for silk or milk or meat. Who knows?
Delicious meats and
And I'm going to close the door because we have some funny reactions or other reactions.
I need to make a note of that. That's going in.
That door's never going to move. So normally we have a bit of audience participation as well. And so I'm going to do some call backs for you folks. One is we don't seem to have any children in this. You were like the youngest, but you're not like a little kid. So I was going to have a warning that, there may be some darns and hecks and gulbangets during this. But since we want to keep it PG-13, every time, and I'm sure it'll happen, anytime any one of the players says something that's not a PG word, like the A word, or the S word, or the F word, I want everybody to say, language! And we'll need to know who sent these people to the house to check out the house. So how about somebody give me a name suggestion for the person responsible for sending it? Perhaps it's an old prospector, perhaps it's a business person living in New York who currently owns a property and is wanting to sell it to them. Just give me some names.
It's an investor.
An investor. Billy.
Tiberius.
Billy what?
Tiberius.
Billy Tiberius. That's his name. So every time we hear the name Billy Tiberius, I want y'all to go, yeehaw! And every time, this is going to be hard because this is not a word, this is a sound. Every time a spider appears, I want y'all to go like creepy spiders. Good. Now, often we've had Bruce Cordell here, and Bruce has a reputation of always rolling really, really poorly. Bruce is not playing today, so I think we need to go and subject someone else to the thing of rolling really poorly. You got it? Thank you.
Or you got D, because I can roll fast actually.
Well, maybe we'll have, one of our players is Dean from the Cybercaster podcast. So how about we say that whenever Dean rolls higher than 15, you can just call out, Dean, re-roll that. And he has to re-roll that and take the second result. If you forget that, that's okay. It's a little mean, but it's so cruel. All right, I'm going to briefly brief the players on the genre so they can actually kind of update their connection and have their characters on each other. And then I'm going to bring everybody in and have them introduce themselves. Thank you. Everybody give a round of applause for these innocent.
Where are our chairs, Sean?
This is going to be good.
To be fair, someone probably should make the chairs.
That's okay. We are adaptable.
You got four now?
Yes. It's part of being around walking.
Yes.
I'm dynamic.
At some point, you are going to fall off the stage.
I'm hoping that was
Please
the
don't do that.
case.
That's why I sent them.
All right, so let's have you introduce yourselves. How about we start with Dean?
Introduce the character.
Introduce, well, yourself as you and who your character is. Are these all?
Like
That's a
these
good
are
question.
not on.
They're on.
Oh, they're on.
Hello.
Thank you, guys. Yes, you just killed us all.
Yes, sir.
I am Dean, sometimes known as AlphaDean. I'm one of the founders of Cypher Unlimited with my buddy Anthony over there. So like, share, and subscribe on our YouTube channel as well. Shameless plugs. So yeah. And I'll be playing Provost, a smart supernatural who uses power.
And Jess.
Hey, my name is Jess. I go by Berser Hope on Twitter, and it's basically the best place to find me. I am a professional fangirl. You can find me on all sorts of different Twitch channels trying to play some sort of character. Today, I am Poppy, who is a tough physical actor who provides comedy relief.
Who happens to be my sister.
I'm Monica Marlowe. I am one of the founding members of Marlowe House Presents. It's my husband and myself. I'm also Monica Marlowe, RPG Superstar 2015 from Pathfinder. Pathfinder. I do all sorts of stuff. Right now we're doing a live stream of actual play gaming on Friday nights, and we are actually playing Wild West there too at the moment, and we would love to have people come in and play in our fourth wall. We actively engage with all of our forum writers and stuff like that. And then we do a how to make your game better kind of thing on Tuesdays at the same time. And all of that can be found on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. We live stream on Twitch, all under Marlowe House, MARLOWE.
And your character is?
She is really confused right now. Serena is a charming sneaker who provides information.
High top sneaker.
Yeah.
And Ray.
Hi. Okay. Hi, I'm Ray Vallese. I've been an editor and sometimes designer in the industry for 20 or 25 years. Currently editing and/or proofing most products for Monte Games. So if you find a typo in your favorite product, you can probably blame me for it. In today's game, I am playing a quick talker who works with machines, and my name is Truck.
Nice. Great. And by the way, we'll say thank you to Bear, who set up the I've got ciphers for everybody.
You're so kind.
These are my home printed from the cipher, or the subtle cipher deck, which is coming up. So they are cheaply black and white and one-sided instead of the full color ones that you'll get in the actual deck.
Those are both yours. Oh yeah, we don't have limits.
Everybody gets, no, you have limits, it's just 2.
It's not written on
I
the
don't see
sheet.
any limits.
I'm sorry, we're gonna need more.
Weird, I'm not gonna hand you anymore.
And he is the boss of me today. This is gonna stink.
Yeah, but I'm about to start editing the next book that Sean wrote. So, I'm just saying.
Give him 2 XP.
It works.
I'm just hoping that Ray will fall off the deck as he promised. She's got 3 and 4. And yes, I do have my Asset Team Octopus custom XP cards. That
These are the
Asset
best.
Team has. I made those
I know
when
that.
I was young. Me and Gary working on Photoshop. All right, so the 4 of you are people living in the Old West, and you have some background in speculation, and you're trying to get a business going, something involving spiders. And you got a tip that there is this weird house that apparently is like the perfect nesting area for these spiders in the territory of Arizona. And the person who gave you the tip, his name is Billy Tiberius. So you have taken the train to this town in Arizona, and there's this remote bit of property where there's this weird old house full of these kind, gentle, completely harmless little spiders.
Little, you say.
They're little. They're pretty
I reject the premise.
I am really glad I'm not a homophobic. Thanks all.
It is the Old West, so you all have like Old West sort of gear. You probably each have a lantern, like a small satchel of hardtack and beef jerky. You each can have a light pistol, although I believe one of you can use any sort of weapons. If for some reason you're especially afraid of these innocent little creatures, you could have like a rifle or a shotgun of some kind. Because you're just innocent prospectors who have no ulterior agenda to go into this house and harvest these spiders.
Yeah.
So the house is large and 2-story. It's kind of rickety, and you happen to arrive just as the sun starts to go down, of course. 'Cause that's optimal time for searching for eight-legged freaks.
Yes. Eight-legged freaks are nocturnal, so of course, why wouldn't we show up right as the sun is going down? Great. Yay.
What would you like to do here at the
We're gonna
house?
go ahead and camp outside to see.
All right, so the night falls.
Bye, everybody.
That's actually a good example of, the player's like, I don't want to engage with this. It's like, I will just fast forward the timeline. You can't leave in this one-shot game. It's always Twilight now.
Wow. So we have entered into the different portion of the orbit. Got it.
Yeah, and sparkly vampires show up, and they herd you into the house.
But do I get to play baseball?
It hasn't been invented in the Old West yet.
I'm sure someone.
You could probably do the whole, shoot a can off a guy's head game. Oh, that's good.
Well,
Is the house lit up?
No, there's nobody in the house. Well, according to what Billy Tiberius told you, the house has been abandoned for years.
well, Truck, quit fooling around. Let's get this done.
Oh brother, Provost, why did we have to go here?
Not funny either.
No, this is how I talk, 'cause this is the old West.
You didn't talk like that back east.
We went to the east? I thought it was west.
We came from the east.
West?
All right,
I'm
I'm
not
going to the house to get away from this.
We know.
All right, there's the front door. It doesn't even have a lock on it, but it is closed.
I kicked down the door.
Well, that was
All right.
fast.
Absolutely.
All right,
So much for
use your-
searching.
You're the physical actor character, so you just kick that door open, and it kind of half flies off of one hinge and is just lying off askew, and you're in what seems to be like a large parlor of some sort.
So while Poppy's kicking down the door, I light my lantern.
All right, your old tiny lantern.
How dusty is it in here?
Oh, it's so dusty that you can easily see all the cobwebs and spider webs.
I think there's spiders here.
Well, didn't you tell us that's what you wanted to acquire here?
Well, maybe.
Absolutely. This place looks interesting.
So Serena hands out some small
Cans of gravy.
closable lid boxes that she's brought to everyone. So you each need to pick up about 4 or 5. So
Do we know how big these are?
Well, if they're bigger than this box, we need to figure
Yeah,
that
what
out.
did Billy tell us?
Billy Tiberius. I told you
Hate him
that
already.
a full-grown spider of this variety can be as large as a man's hand.
So these are about the size of a softball.
Softball
Is
has not
that
been
the
invented
body?
yet.
Yes.
So these are about the size of a human head.
Hand.
Head.
I know I have an accent.
I
man.
know, I need several of them in the box.
Hand.
Did he say they were?
With the legs. With the legs.
Oh, maybe I can handle this then.
I got my pistol out. I'm bringing him back dead, not alive.
You know
Okay,
the-
you can be responsible for the dead ones. We're gonna need the rest alive.
Are we trying to use like the silk of these? You think we can handle using them for what?
I'm gonna kill them and stuff them for my taxidermy museum.
Wow.
You guys can bring them back alive if you want to.
Truck, don't start messing with my money.
All right, then you come up with a better idea, Provost.
Capture the doggone spiders. We gonna put them in the box. We gonna take them back. She gonna do whatever she gonna do, and I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do.
Well, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do.
Here we go again.
Right, so it's outside and it's It's Arizona, so once the sun is down, there's really not much in the air to hold in temperature, so it's starting to get cold out
No,
here.
it's a little chilly, yeah.
So we're
It's
inside.
driving the narrative into where the action happens.
So we're all in the parlor.
You are?
Right.
You're all outside. She
Yeah,
kicked the door.
she kicked the door open, I held the lantern, and so we are still technically outside the door, but walk in.
I'm gonna walk in.
Definitely walking in, I'm feeling the draftiness of the inside, and I'm looking for the nearest cabinet. Perhaps a whiskey cabinet.
So the parlor does have an old couch, an old wooden chair, and some sort of cabinet structure off in the corner where Serena's light has not yet really fully illuminated.
I'm like shuffling my feet everywhere, checking the dust trails. I kick the couch a little bit, just
Okay.
at the leg.
And
Just
I'm
the-
looking
Just
up.
just time.
All right. You kick the couch.
I do. I did
I'm
this
gonna
to
offer
myself.
a GM to you.
In good fashion, I will take it. I'll give it to Miss Serena over here with the light. Please help me.
Walk closer.
You kick the couch, and out from underneath comes this just cloud of dust.
Yes.
And you're like, okay, relief, that was just a cloud of dust.
Yes.
Until you realize that kind of rolling along in the dust are these big hand-sized green spiders. They're just going to scatter all throughout the room. There's probably 10 or 15 of them.
Well, Brother Provost, I found the spiders. What do I do? Do I step on them? Oh, they're green.
I'm gonna lean down and try to scoop one up in the box you gave me.
All right, that's probably, are you going to try and grab it or scoop it gently?
Just scoop it gently.
That's probably a speed roll. Why don't you make a speed roll for me?
Please apply. So.
That's 13.
All right, yeah, you managed to get this and put the lid on it? All right, so you're
Yeah.
holding this little container with the spider in it, and you can hear it tapping at the interior of this can.
Doesn't sound like Morse code.
Are you familiar with Morse code?
I mean, it's the day and age of telegraphs.
That's true. You can spend a minute listening to it.
Actually, I have knowledge. I'd like to go ahead and take Morse code as a form of communication.
Okay, excellent.
I'll tap back in the rhythm on it.
All right, it stops. But before it stops, you realize it's spelling out, "You're going to die."
So it does seem, friends, that these spiders are intelligent. It is speaking to us and giving us a message.
You're sure it's just coincidence?
Sentient spiders. That's not what I signed up for. You said money was involved?
What did our friend Billy Tiberius tell us? Are they venomous? Do you know anything about them?
They are definitely venomous.
Now you tell us.
And they make silk, and he's just hoping that maybe one aspect of those things will lead to lucrative. I mean, there are snake oil salesmen who make tons of money selling snake oil all throughout the American South. Why not try selling spider oil?
Well, then we don't need them alive. We just
Nope.
need to, then we just need
Like
to
I
have
said.
a breeding colony and then just smash them out.
Capture two of them.
While I'm dancing around the rest of the spiders, I would like to offer a player intrusion. And I'd like to see that one of those spiders is a little fuzzier, maybe blue, perhaps has cute big old eyes.
As a matter of fact, there is a blue, big-eyed, cute, fuzzy spider. One of them is skittering around.
Yes. All right, I'm gonna. Oh, it's so sweet. I can handle this one, guys. Can I befriend this one?
If you name it, you have to take care of it.
Oh.
You're gonna have to walk it and feed it.
Oh.
You know what spiders eat, right?
Papa, just put it in the box.
Why don't you make a speed roll for me, please?
I really like this one. I'm gonna apply a level of effort.
Okay.
And I have an edge in speed. That's a 15.
15. Okay, yeah. scoop it right up. And unlike the one that your brother captured, there's no tapping on it. It's just kind of casual.
Well, damn, I wanted to talk to the spider.
Well, so
That's what the name is.
So tap it this way, Poppy, and you're asking for its name.
So while you're all
You guys are focused on getting attacked by a swarm of spiders.
Everything's fine. Everything's
They're
fine.
not on us yet.
While you were all focused on looking at these two small containers of spiders, you hear, and the front door closes in a direct.
Which got kicked off the hinges.
Half off the hinge.
Good save.
It's a kilt.
There's still some starlight in there.
There's a little bit of light coming in through, the kind of ripped paper windows.
Okay, I go back and try to open the door again. It'll probably stay right near.
It opens.
Okay.
It's really cold outside.
Okay. Is some way I can prop it open?
You could probably move some of the furniture.
All right. I
And
do
this
that.
couch is empty though.
I'm not going to do that.
Are the other spiders still around us, or are they trying to scatter?
They have by now scattered in the corners and gone under things and into.
And me looking up, I don't see giant spiders.
Oh, are you looking outside or are you looking up right
Well, when I walked in, I was looking up. But
When
you
you
didn't
walked
say
in,
I
you
saw
look up, you did not see any just then. But Poppy did say, "Oh, what's that over there?" And she turns, Serena turned the lantern over to that corner. So the lantern has not been up.
Is her lantern enough to illuminate the whole room?
You know you all have lanterns.
I was going to say we should all turn on our lanterns. I'm turning on mine.
You have to light your lantern. This
I'm
is the
lighting
only
my
lantern. It's
lantern.
not like, flick that switch. and-
Well, I rigged mine up because I work with machines.
Oh,
I do have a switch in mine.
nice. All right, so yeah, you've got some sort of weird striking mechanism, and now you have your own lantern. And the thing about these lanterns is they have a little metal lid on the top, and there's a handle on there, so they don't tend to put a lot of light upward. So you would need to have to tilt it carefully
That's what I'm
because it
doing.
is an oil lantern. You don't want to tilt it too much. All right, you look up and you realize that there are a bunch of animal carcasses that have been webbed into the ceiling by
Like
these spiders.
rats?
Some of them look like rats.
You see any humans up there?
Some of them are bigger than rats.
Ah!
None of them are as big as a human.
How much bigger than a rat?
Coyote size?
Coyotes.
Damn.
These are the best spiders
so
ever.
fierce.
We could market them to the ranchers who want to keep the coyotes.
Pest control?
Yes. I have so many ideas. Capture a few more.
Are you gonna prop that door open, or are you busy still looking up at the ceiling?
I'm looking up at the ceiling.
All right. You hear something outside, like an animal walking around outside.
Like,
Like right outside?
Like-
Right outside the door?
Not like 2 feet outside the door, like that'd be right there in front of you. But you do hear an animal moving out in the darkness.
Okay, I'm gonna go check.
You're gonna go outside all alone.
I'm gonna say, hey guys, I'm going outside to take a look. There's something out there.
What in Sam Hill Foundation are you doing?
that's fine. I will go with you, Truck,
No.
because away from the spider webs is the best place, and I like
I agree.
ready my shotgun.
I got my pistol still out.
Yeah.
Don't you dare.
But big
We're daring.
No. And you, Truck. Every time you hear a sound, you gotta go push a button, huh? That's just
So what are your powers exactly? That's what I thought.
We don't, we don't talk about those, Truck. You know that.
Who else is here to not know about them?
Well, you'll find out.
All right, you're gonna investigate this noise.
Poppy and I are going outside.
All right, you're gonna investigate the noise.
We are.
Why don't you make an intellect roll to search for where it might come from?
I hand Serena the spider case. I can't let my sister go out there.
All right, well, I guess I'll stand on the porch because I'm surely not staying in here by myself.
See?
I was still splitting parties just fine.
I heard a whole blog about that.
I
It
rolled
was
a
not
nine.
good.
You're rolling 9. All right. So you're walking around out there, and this is the kind of the path that you came from, and you're hearing the noise over here. And there is like what seems to be a storm cellar door off to the side, which is odd because you think it'd be, going under the house. But there's just this wooden frame and a door on the ground. And you think this is the vicinity where that sound came from.
Like from the other side of the door?
Well, you heard this sound over in this direction, and so you
Okay.
walk in that direction, and you're like, weird door on the ground.
Lo and behold, do you see that door? This is where we're going.
Why don't you call your brother over?
Should I shoot it open?
No, we can
Should
spoil
I
it.
kick it open?
I would examine the door, making sure there's not a giant spider about to ambush me. And if it looks relatively clear around the area of the door, I will see if there's a mechanism that needs to be fiddled with to make it open, or if it's just pulling the handle.
So can we see from the house what's going on?
He's out there, but like you see him like standing over something, but you can't really tell what it is because he's holding a lantern and you're holding a lantern, but it's
I would just like to remind you that in that last thing that we did that we don't talk about because we don't talk about it, I'm capable of picking locks.
Is this a place where erratic destruction is applicable?
certainly. So-
Or not locks.
So he's going to examine the door first,
Yes.
and you're holding your lantern up to the door, and it's kind of covered in dirt. You're going to clear off some of that dirt.
Sure.
It says, there's words on it, and it spells out, "Here lies Billy Tiberius." There's more writing, "Killed by truck."
And do I know that I didn't kill Billy Tiberius?
I mean, you just talked to him, you know, a train ride, weeks worth of train ride ago. So unless you had some complex.
Well, I black out sometimes.
We
So.
talked to Billy Tiberius face to face.
Face to face.
Oh, okay.
Now, you're a machinist. You could have built some crazy invention that killed him as soon as you left the room. But
Could have.
you don't remember.
I don't remember doing it though.
So you can see that it says, "Here lies Billy Tiberius."
Truck? Is that something?
I didn't do it.
But word is law here, right?
No.
But
What, I walk up with you now, Trevor.
Take a look at this.
Serena walks up to.
What the hell?
Wait.
Why did you
I don't
kill him?
remember killing him.
Oh,
Here we go with this again.
was that when you were drinking?
I don't know.
Okay.
too many saloons, I see. Okay. So you tricked me because of money to come get spiders when you already killed the person who wanted them?
Why would I have killed him?
I don't know.
I
Because he
don't
has
know
a
either.
really bad group of people who say yeehaw.
This posse is really annoying. It's true. I'm just happy to be out of the house.
Doesn't count if Mr. Tiberius is faking his death.
Clearly, it's a different Billy Tiberius and a different truck.
There is dust on it, so.
I'm gonna open the door.
All right.
Let's resolve this. There's too much talking going on.
It has one of those kind of slide bars
Is
to.
it like a horizontal flat panel on the
It's a
ground?
flat panel on the ground,
Okay,
and you just slide that bar out.
I am.
All right. It's kind of stuck.
Okay, can I use my machine crafting skills to work with that, or is it just like a brute force thing?
It sounds like a brute force thing.
Okay,
Brute force
Hold on,
thing,
Trevor.
you say.
Hold on, Trevor.
come on over here and help.
I walk over and
You got a spell or something?
just. You just kind of see my hand wag a little bit and.
Ooh, you did that. It's been a while.
Why don't you make an intellect roll for your
I don't know.
strange attack?
I don't like to show off. You know that.
You're so humble.
16.
Say what? Say how?
They want you to re-roll that.
7.
Ew.
Okay.
I want him to re-roll that.
What's that? You want
I want him to re-roll
All right,
that.
you're rolling that 7.
Oh, we're rolling on.
16.
There.
Is it the number? Oh.
Gene intrusion.
I hate Billy's posse.
So you blast, you do whatever you do, and this flash of light happens, and the bar holding this door closed just kind of flies apart in a bunch of splinters, makes this crazy ass cloud that you all have to shield your eyes from momentarily. And there's this kind of crash while your eyes are closed, and you open your eyes, and there's all this dust kind of welling up, and the doors have actually collapsed inward into whatever this led into, and there are two glowing eyes deep within this underground space looking up at you.
But just two.
Just two.
So the good news is that you've destroyed all of the evidence the truck has killed Billy. Good job.
Allegedly.
That's why I'm smart.
Better lucky than good.
The eyes are coming closer. They're coming up whatever this little rickety set of stairs is.
Well, my shotgun is already up there ready. I don't know about you guys, but we don't have to save this one, do we?
I'm backing up with my gun pointed at whatever's coming up.
All right, you gonna let this thing come out?
I'm not going in there.
We'll be here.
All right, so
Same bad time, same bad
You
chance.
guys all got your weapons trained?
crawling up
well,
out of
yeah.
this hole in the ground is the ghost of what could be described as Billy Tiberius.
You guys didn't make that sound scary now.
It's more like Billy Tiberius's. His grandpappy, and he's got like an old prospector beard and a crazy old like askew hat, and he's missing half his teeth, and he says, "You killed me, truck," and he reaches out with these weird ghostly hands and tries to clutch at your neck.
Heck.
All right, I'm unloading my pistol in his face.
I need you to first make a speed defense roll.
Okay? I'm gonna use effort on this. I rolled a 1.
Way to go.
So this thing,
I did that for you.
this thing appears to be a ghost, reaches out, clutches at your neck, and it's just this burning cold sensation. It's not a physical force. It's just like you were rubbing ice on your neck without their ice being there. And you take 5 points of damage as this thing just locks its way around you. And you realize you actually can't breathe.
Can I breathe enough to shoot him in the face?
Yes, that requires very little air. As it turns out.
For you, the gun on the other hand does need some air.
Now, is this a regular gun or is this some crazy like modified steampunk gun that you have?
It's a gun that shoots ghosts.
How convenient.
I think it goes to the chamber.
It shoots ghosts at ghosts. It's a regular steampunky kind of gun.
All right, why don't you make an attack roll for me?
All right. 10.
10. You did not apply a level of effort, right?
Not this time.
All right, so
I'm being strangled.
yeah, you're a little distracted. So you pull up your pistol and it kind of like catches part of the ghost's coat, but doesn't seem to impact any of its main essence.
So I can't tell if the bullet would have damaged the ghost because it didn't hit him.
Right.
But do we see like the coat whiffle?
There's like a momentary like hole through the coat that kind of like gets all smoky and then forms back up again. You know, but if you roll better and actually hit the ghost, maybe you'd see it more.
So at the risk of the pun, does erratic transparency provide me any information at this point?
Do you want to spend an XP on it?
Sure, I
For
like
the
to run with no XP.
All right.
Ones are better.
So your weird quirky talent that you can't sometimes control suddenly flares up, and the ghost is no longer all crazy transparent. He is like quite solid looking and looks a lot like a person who, if you kind of painted them all in weird pale colors to be in a haunted house, suddenly that's how solid appearing this person looks. You're not sure
Forgot
if
the
he's
dog.
deep.
So, Provost, just puts the hand up, just like reaches over truck's shoulder.
High five me?
Just so we could blast the thing from over his shoulder?
Yeah.
All right, make it intellect roll.
And I'm gonna apply a level of effort.
To hit?
Yes.
Okay.
That would be a 14.
14, okay. That hits it, and how much damage does it do?
It'll do 4 points.
All right, so you blast this thing in the face with whatever weird, is this like psychic force or is it like
It's,
gunpowder?
Basically, he's so damn smart. He does wild things. He has this,
Elemental mucus.
it's an elemental dust that he uses to make these flags.
All
He
right.
calls it dust, it's mucus.
We don't shake hands.
All right, so you blast the ghost, and yeah, it kind of scorches its face, and part of its face is blown away, but it's not gory and weird. It's just kind of like as if the interior. It's almost like it were a statue that you just
He's
broke off
kinda
part of the
dusty.
statue's face,
Yeah.
and you can just see the smooth interior part, and it kind of like, you're next.
Get your hands
Oh,
off the
I was
truck.
gonna say, the important question is, does it stop strangling me?
It's still on you.
Of course.
And Poppy.
Right, that shotgun. I'm gonna try and hit him in the rib cage, and hopefully not spray any of my bullets into my friend.
Okay.
I can do this just fine, guys.
That's what she said the last time.
Fine. I will apply a level of effort.
Okay.
Wait, was it speed?
Speed.
Okay. Yeah.
You have the
It's a heck for me.
Oh.
She can't
Is
say
it
the word
yeah,
that's
oh,
on the
it's
die.
It's the FBI. The FBI. Oh, yes.
That's a one.
Oh,
That's like
yeah.
a negative one.
Yeah, the yeah is the 20.
All right, so your gun fires,
It sure does.
and unfortunately, you managed to spray both Truck and Provost with some of these shotgun. What did you have in there? Deer shot?
Rock salt.
I think it was marshmallows.
Whatever's best for ghosts.
Rock salt?
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Well, he's probably loaded for spider, not for ghosts.
Oh.
Rock salt's still good for spiders.
That's true. I'll give you
I
that.
have supernatural knowledge.
All right, so this rock salt flies out, stings both of you. You are momentarily blinded. It's not enough to take damage, it just stings really bad, and there's like salt in your face and your eyes. You're like, this is horrible, now I'm being choked and I'm blinded.
Damn it, Bobby. What are you thinking about
I'm
that?
just,
I
I'm
croak
sure
out,
no.
I'm gonna kill Billy Tiberius. Possibly again. It's my turn?
Yes.
All right, instead of trying to shoot this thing again, I'm gonna try to use my erratic movement to get out of its grip.
Okay, I'll let you spend the next beat on that.
All right.
So, you are like, got your one hand on the pistol and you're trying to clutch at it with your other hand, and then the next thing you know, you just kind of get weirdly wiggly, bendy, and kind of like plastic, even though plastic hasn't been invented yet. And you
That's what we need to make
slip,
money.
Yes.
slip, maybe you need the silk from the spiders to make the plastic. And you slip out of this ghost's grasp. But unfortunately, you do kind of like weren't expecting to fall quite this way, and you land on your butt. But it's like right there.
Okay.
You have evaded it. You have escaped. Serena.
All right, so in all of my esoteric studies, I have done some supernatural studying as well.
Of course.
So is there a better way to attack this ghost?
I think with your change in transparency, you're pretty confident that the weapons that you have will.
Okay, so I would like to go ahead and track my light pistol on it and shoot.
All right. Pew pew.
Ah! On the table, I'd like to roll that die. 16.
16. All right. Yes, you hit it, and
I was
it's
waiting for
like.
them to say, okay, they didn't.
Yeah, no, they must have used their rerolls already. Or not.
So you got a little like dainty pistol because it's a light pistol.
Well, yes, because I'm a dainty lady.
That's right.
2 points of damage.
2 points of damage, right. So you shoot this ghost in the upper chest and makes a big old hole there and like looks around and like it flinches a little bit, but it's not bleeding or anything weird, so it's clearly not just a person in a strange costume. And
So this is not a Scooby-Doo episode?
This is not 100% Scooby-Doo.
I know, I was hoping.
And then Poppy and Provost live action.
I'm so sorry, baby. I didn't mean to do that. Should I kick him instead?
Yes.
I would absolutely like to try to back kick him with my spurred boots.
All right, make that attack.
That are covered in silver.
They were birthday presents.
Silver is harder than gold, and I'm not rich enough for gold, so.
Is that how that dice rolls?
I actually I really feel good about this because every time I used to play a game, the first 6 rolls I roll are the 1, 2.
Using
We're
that.
doing this on purpose to entertain you folks. We have died to roll all ones.
I just wanted to give you free GM infusions.
So-
I hate combat.
You try this kick at the ghost
Yes.
of Billy
I
Tiberius.
shouldn't have spun.
And unfortunately you miss.
Oh, Lord.
But
Save the
in
kickers.
recovering from your kick, because he was like in this direction, you turn around and you realize that there's just like a carpet of these little spiders that have come out of the front door of the house
Yes, of course.
heading toward you.
The spider's coming. Oh, Lord. I hate spiders.
Billy Tiberius. I'm designated you for execution.
I mean, we're gonna
Again.
Okay, blast him.
That's 11.
11, okay. And you do 4 points of damage, right? All right, that sends him flying back and kind of like, not really tumbling down the stairs, but because he's not really touching the floor, he's kind of like spinning in midair. And he tumbles off into the darkness, and you can't see him in this underground area anymore.
Right. Spiders behind us.
Well, time to go.
Nowhere. We're supposed to collect these.
How did we get here? Did we walk here? Or
We
what's
walked
this?
here.
Okay.
We
You
didn't
spent
even get
your last
horses.
dollars on your train ticket, so you had to walk up.
Yeah, we can eat these. I'm going to tap on my little fuzzy friend's jar and say hello. And I'm gonna be like, hey, remember I befriended you?
And put you in a box.
And now I'm gonna set you free to go talk to your compatriots. And you're going to let us help you. You don't want to live in a dusty manor, right?
And you're doing this all in Morse code?
I'm translating.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I'm like rapidly tapping and also talking, and hopefully it's sentient enough to understand what I'm saying. Intellect, or just, I'm gonna unscrew it and let him go to his friends.
All right, so you're gonna set the spider out like in front of your group?
No, behind my group, towards the spiders.
Towards the spiders, right, that's it, yes.
Right.
All right, so you set your little friend out there, and he like turns around, he's like a little big-eyed, like waves his little head up.
We're gonna name him Lucas.
And
I'm gonna shoot him.
it starts
Warning for later.
It starts marching towards the horde of spiders that are coming out of the house. And as it goes forward, the main horde kind of like splits into, it makes a path, like a path opening up.
My fuzzy Jesus. That
That one.
And so now they kind of like go past you and form a ring around you so that the only safe place for you to walk is in the direction of your little blue friend who is walking into the house.
I'm gonna go stand next to our new friend Fuzzy Moses. And when you say a horde,
There's hundreds of these things.
okay.
Probably thousands if they're surrounding every other action in the direction.
Well, it's like that when those crabs kind of like have their big migration and they cross the road and there's just like a wall of crabs, but they're all very, very tiny. It's like that, but with little spiders.
They're not little. Let's clarify.
They're not giant, let's clarify.
I guess in the grand scheme of things, they are still tiny.
They're big enough.
I'm tiptoeing with my hands behind my back and trying to make myself as unscared and friendly as possible.
Okay.
I have not stepped on any of these, let's remember.
Yeah, there seems to be like there's a 3-foot wide path leading back up to the door.
So the horde's not attacking us, it's hurting us.
It's yes.
Yes, we're about to be stuck to the ceiling.
How many eyeballs, like, can I tell if they're following, they're tracking our movement, or they're just dead in the eye?
And they're just kind of like milling about.
Yeah.
And some of them are facing in your direction, but it's hard to tell because they have so many eyes whether they're looking at you or kind of looking at you or.
Sure. Yep, I'm leading the way, I'm walking back, and I gotta follow.
So, did you tell us before that your spider told us we were all going to die? Do we know that?
He didn't know that.
How did we know that?
I know that.
Okay, but you didn't share that with the rest of us.
Well, I was busy buying Morse code.
Okay.
But,
Poppy's walking off.
I'm following Poppy, but I would like to know.
I'm getting away from Billy Tiberius.
Have I had any, do I have any knowledge of like a supernatural arachnid or any other like area in the area? Since we obviously were planning to come here looking for spiders, any knowledge of any unusual like folklore, local?
Are you going to use your question ability?
I can certainly do that. I will spend my 3 intellect for that.
All right. So you know all sorts of weird local legends from various places. And in this one, there is a legend that there was some strange cult in this town, and they had turned to worship Satan himself.
Oh, perfect. Moses is just going to fit right in.
And they cursed the land that they walked upon.
Yeah, no, this is bad. So I do kind of communicate because I'm like, I just remembered there was something I read that I kind of discounted, but there might be a cult in the area who worships Satan.
Oh, but you know that cult died dozens of years ago.
But I'm certain that this isn't related until we get in the house and then we'll prove it wrong.
What a great time for you to remember this.
Well, the other spiders are going to die, so I mean, I kind of hide the lead.
So you're waiting till now to tell me such.
Well, I had a lot of research. I mean, I just read everything on the area. Did you know your spider told us we were going to die? But hers is really
What?
nice. We were all busy busting in doors and kicking in couches. You were busy yelling at your little sister. Nobody listens to the smart one.
So by now you've gotten to the front door of the house again.
So right now, do you still have your spider in a box? Is that the only one we have captured so far?
Yes.
Let that thing loose.
But,
They're pissed at us.
no, if it said we
We're not keeping a captive. I think that's a good idea.
Actually, you have it.
Did you give? Oh, you gave it to me. Oh, I apologize. I gently tap on there. We are so sorry. This was a complete misunderstanding on our part, and we would like to offer our deepest condolences. And then open the box and put it down.
Okay, you're not going to give it time to respond.
Well, I certainly will if it, yes.
I mean,
give it
it's
a second.
whichever you would like to do, we'll roll with it.
We'll give it a second to respond. Yes.
Okay, it taps out, hungry.
I know a couple people.
Do you tell us what it said?
It says that's wonderful.
It's wonderful in the box, or you want to let it out?
No, it says it accepts my apology.
The spider's going,
Very good. It goes kind of crawling off towards the underside of the couch again.
So where are we standing? We didn't go in the house yet, right?
You did not say you're going in the house yet, so you're at the doorstep.
How wide is this ring of spiders? Could I jump over it?
You could try.
Could I stomp my way through it with my big old West boots?
You could try.
I'm gonna do that.
Trap. You can't trap through it. You can't do this.
Okay,
Don't
so-
do this.
So here's the thing, they were hungry. We certainly could.
All right, that's all I need to hear. I'm gonna start stomping spiders with my boots in the other direction. I'm not going in that house.
Before he starts stomping spiders, Jesus.
Man, I've been strangled by a ghost of a guy I don't think I killed.
I know, but I have to think of everything. And I snatched the lantern, pulled the bottom off where the oil is. And
I thought this was a rescue mission.
I thought we were gonna use them to patrol for the cattlemen.
We'll use straws.
Wherever, you said it was a line of spiders?
Yeah, it's a path of spiders now kind of like hemming you in to the
Right,
front of the
so-
house.
It's a red car.
So basically, that side is gonna get an oil lantern of, bursting, a wall of fire. We're gonna set them on fire so we can get.
Are you making a ring of fire?
Are you gonna sing too?
Why don't you make a speed attack roll to throw that lantern in?
And I'll apply a little more effort. 17.
They really don't like you, Dean. I'm so sorry.
I was for the next.
Roll the F.
18.
You don't have to do what they say.
Yeah, they're not the boss of you, just Sean.
They said re-roll it. 5. Once you apply the level of effort, and you're really just trying to hit like a 10-foot patch of ground.
Right.
So you throw the lantern, it smashes open, flames cover this area. Now you have a small area that is just full of flaming, burning spiders.
Do they glow?
Well, I mean, they're on fire.
It's a really soft,
Is the flaming wall out in front of us, between us and the house, or behind us?
I believe he was trying to make an exit path.
Right.
Right.
I'm still stopping spiders that aren't on fire.
All right, so you're gonna go off to the side.
Well,
and do that?
we can't run through the flames, right?
I'm just making sure that you are going off to the side and not trying to run through the recently burned spiders.
Unless the flames are out. Are they still
It's
on
literally
fire?
been 1 second.
When you said recently burned.
Well, it sounds like
This is why I'm your editor, Sean. What?
geometry.
2 of them.
So
I don't
you need a
think
handoff from
either
those
Dean
XP
or
somebody
I
will.
else.
are the XP, so-
I don't think any of you deserve this, but I'll give it. Yeah, you gotta do this kill. I'm gonna give this to Poppy.
So you start stomping on these spiders next to this area of burning spiders, and the non-burning spiders and the burning spiders all start to swarm up onto your body. And
As I'm stomping
as
them.
you are stomping them, some of them are just leaping, some of them are crawling, and you are suddenly just kind of like waist high and getting more and more covered up with spiders, some of which are on fire. I need you to make
Oops.
Stop, drop, and roll. Stop, drop, and roll.
So is there an open path?
There's an area where the oil from the lamp is still burning. Like this is still the same round that you threw it. It's only burning for like a round or so, maybe 2 rounds, and those spiders are doing something.
You
but
either
that
have
would be a
spiders
problem.
or fire, and we're still surrounded.
I need you to make a
Yes.
a might defense roll.
Ugh.
Okay. 18.
18. Okay, very nice. You're feeling like all these spider bites and burning from all over, and you take a total of 2 points of damage.
Okay.
And they're getting
I've had worse.
getting higher and up towards your face. So Poppy and Serena have not taken actions yet.
Correct. I was following my fuzzy blue friend, but if I hear a ruckus outside,
And you see your friend on fire and being bitten by spiders?
yes, I will come back out and I'll be like, don't fight it, truck. They're just giving you a little massage. They're learning the world of acupuncture. I got you. They're learning acupuncture. It's new. It's coming from a different place. And I'm spending my action to try and be funny. And make giggle a little.
Laughter is the best medicine.
It tickles. And it actually allows everyone to recover 2 points to the pools divided how you want.
There you go. She's
I'm
using it.
trying.
Okay.
Because your character provides comic relief. That's her special ability.
So while Poppy is
Laughing
waxing,
through the tears.
Poppy's waxing poetically, Serena stomps weight on the ground with her foot in Morse code.
Like W-A-I.
Is it a hoedown time?
Yes. Well, that's good. And I'd like to go ahead and spend intellect point to like convey, wait friends. I'll take that
So
out.
that'll take like a round and a half because horse code is slow.
It is, and I'm okay with that,
Okay.
but I would still like to spend
So
the
the rest of us
intellect.
to see her.
But I would like to spend, effort on that,
Okay.
to get it out clearly.
All right. It's important to have your proper pacing and your clogging to spiders.
Exactly, yeah, I'm wearing my best stomping boots right now.
So, having launched the fire, and that was a GM intrusion, so that was kind of out of turn sequence for that to happen to you. All the other spiders have now realized that the truce is over. You have not really
There was a
conveyed your
truce.
message yet.
Right.
And they are all starting to close in on where the porch is.
But
And Dean, Provost. You see the truck is on fire, covered in spiders.
Like usual.
Still like last.
There's a burned area that has fewer spiders, partly because some of them are on fire and have moved onto truck.
So, I'm going to try and use my blast ability, but just to brush them off the truck, not actually hit truck.
If you guys say
Just a little
anything, he
fire.
rolls.
We're gonna find
just
So you're gonna use your elemental mucus to do a very fine blast and blast spiders off of truck?
a
Without hurting
variable
you?
elemental. This is wind now.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, I don't want the mucus.
you. Although water would be bad.
Yeah.
14.
14, okay. Yeah, he manages to knock some of these spiders off you, which will help. I'll say that gives you an asset on your next bite defense roll, as the rest of them are still attacking.
Okay. It's my turn? All right. I don't really have anything that will help me here, so
Try talking to them.
out of combat only. I think we're in combat.
You are in combat. I missed that part. I was right,
Didn't roll a 1. Rolled a 2.
2. Okay, so you take 2 more points of damage from these spiders biting you, and you can feel their weird venom starting to seep into your body. And you feel your flesh kind of liquefying, as spider venom tends to do.
You feel good?
Yes, in opposite world.
Okay.
The rest of the spiders are now starting to swarm up on all of you. Is there anything you're going to do before they have a chance to actually jump up on you?
Yeah, deception. I wanna pass behind Bobby. Out of the way. Well, I stop, like I'm clogging through them.
So you're going to use her as a shield?
Yes.
Okay. And Poppy?
Well, that shield is not gonna stay there for very long. I'm trained in running, and I would like to use this very subtle burst of hope speed. Because for 1 minute, a user can move a short distance and actually move as long distance. And really, I'm just trying to like move really fast in a circle around the spiders to try and wrangle them.
So, but you're on the inside loop of the spider.
Right, and I will stomp on some of the spiders. They are now not my friends. I'm gonna run through some spiders to wrangle for the greater good.
All right, give me that cipher. And why don't you make a speed roll to get on the outside of the spider wrangling?
Yes, trained.
Nice.
Not using the band for the rainbow. 6.
6. All right. The swarm of spiders, none of them bite through your boots, but as you run out, some of them do manage to jump up onto probably.
Hello, friends.
What sort of garments are you wearing? Are you wearing like a dress? Are you wearing like pants?
Oh no, this is a pants situation. This is very much a pants situation. The second spiders were involved. Yes, pants. All skin must be covered. I've got a frilly red vest with the white dingly danglies. Right. I've got the jean jacket and maybe chaps. I don't know. We'll see.
So you're dressed like the 1980s.
Yeah, we're actually time travelers.
Plot twist.
That's our story. We're sticking to it.
Yes.
So you do have a couple spiders that have jumped up on your boots.
Right, to
but that's
befriend me.
that's very friendly.
Yes, I'm sure that's what's happening.
But you've managed to get it to the outside,
Correct.
and you're going to start running around.
Yes.
Now, they are kind of arranged in a loop around
Yeah.
the front of the house.
So maybe like pew pew pew.
You're gonna run back and forth?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe sequester. I don't know. This has gone south real fast. Brother Provost, help.
Provost.
I have a defensive power that we kind of didn't define completely. So I want to say it's my elemental, not mucus, dust. And I can throw it up in like a shield.
Like caltrops.
I'm gonna throw it up in the shield to kind of push the spiders back away from the front of the porch.
Okay, you have to move forward to do that probably, because it's meant to be a protective thing around you.
Right.
So you can like move forward and kind of use it as a push
Yeah.
against them. All right, why don't you make a roll for that?
$14.
14, okay. You kind of, are you going for where the fire is or another area?
Yeah, because
It's got a weak spot.
Yeah.
All right, so you kind of get halfway through the path of where the spiders are, and your shield is kind of like pushing them aside a little bit. So you are about out of the ring of spiders as Poppy keeps running back and forth really fast, like Barry Allen.
You can open a time portal for us.
Yeah, run faster.
Oh, tried.
And now the spiders are going to go. So I need all four of you
Yeah.
to make might defense rolls, as these spiders are going to start climbing and crawling on you.
Trained.
20.
We roll that.
19. Yeah.
You okay?
I need it, man.
20.
We roll.
20.
It was a 19.
19.
Okay,
Yes.
still.
It's still fine.
He's going to keep that one. That was crazy. Nicely done.
I rolled a 4, and I'm going to send an XP to reroll it of my own volition.
I don't like any of you.
We'll tell you who to blame later.
I got a 20.
20.
Oh, wow.
Great.
I got 19, 20, 19.
16.
All right. So all of you are like jumping and dodging, and you're like rushing
Stop,
off these
drop,
ones
roll.
that are like halfway on you. Yeah. Well, you're in the middle of the spiders right now, so you probably want to
I
shift
don't wanna
over
stop, drop, and roll.
and then stop, drop, and roll.
Then if I can brush them off me, or literally pull them off me and throw them by their legs as levers, it's okay.
Legs as levers, and they're just
Like hold one of their legs.
yes,
Fling it,
fling
fling
it.
it.
It's like a ninja star.
Yeah, now make
Ninja
sure.
stars. We got ninja stars in the old west?
Yeah, they're spiders.
They're arachnid.
All right.
Oh, Lord.
Gonna have a group jam and fusion.
Of course.
He gets an XP.
You're so kind.
So you have managed to go and shake yourself free of these spiders and just gotten out of the spiders area and getting all these spiders off you, and each of you feels something hit you somewhere on your body, and you start to get pulled kind of towards the house and into the air. And as you kind of like try and look and see what's going on, you realize there's like a big old blob of spider web stretching up towards the second story of the house. Through one of the windows. There's four of these big strands yoinking you up
Look,
towards the house.
they're being so kind to take us away from the fire. It's fine.
So while she's rambling on, Serena uses persuasion to speak to the spider that's pulling us up, or whatever the creature is. I assume it's a spider. And I say, my friends are idiots. Please, we are here to help find a better place for you to live. We have people who are looking for pest control. We have coyotes and foxes hounding the cattle herds of the area. Will you please help us?
Like while you're being pulled up.
Yes, yes, I mean, I've got a couple minutes, right? I mean, you know, I just keep talking.
Does anybody else have any actions before you end up getting pulled through?
As I'm being yoinked, do you know that that carnival ride that's a swing and you're on a string and you're going really, yeah, I want spin myself to kind of, as the action of being pulled up, I want to kind of swing and at least make it a fun ride.
Okay.
You should whistle.
I'm going to use a one-action recovery roll and get some light points back.
Okay. And Provost.
I'm just being prepared. If I get through the window, something's gonna get smacked.
Okay.
All right, I got 5 points back.
All right. So the four of you are all pulled through the top windows of the house, and you are surprised to find up there not a spider. It's two people dressed in normal sort of clothing for the era,
1980s.
with kind of like hoods pulled up. You can see that each of them is wearing like a metal mask, like something like a blacksmith would make. And each of them is holding something that might be something that you would have made, a weird sort of gun that's got like a reel and like a glass chamber that's got some sort of like bubbling goo in it, and like the spider web that pulled you up in here is actually attached to this gun. It has a little ratchet device that's been yanking you back. And this first figure says, "I'm sorry they almost got you."
Hail Satan.
The second one just turns and like tilts her head and looks at you.
Don't make them throw us back.
Wait, you already utilized the spiders. Why are we here? What are we? I don't understand.
So are we all in the room with them now?
You're all in the room.
Hang these two web or stand there with them?
I mean, you're not tangled in the web, it's just kind of like stuck on your
So
shoulder.
we can kind of like brush it off then, or like,
It's kind of more like pulling off gross goo, but it'll come on.
All right,
Here,
I point my
come.
pistol at one of them and say, what the hell's going on here?
Clearly the spiders are taking over the house.
We got that!
who are you? Hail Satan.
I elbow her.
Says, we're the last survivors of the group sent here by Billy Tiberius.
Oh, that is
He sent us here too.
He is
surprising.
working with the spiders and weird food. All right, that guy's got
How long you been up here in this attic?
2 weeks.
Damn!
I'm really hungry.
it. Here's some hardtack.
Thank you. He kind of lifts up the mask and he's got, like a very haggard sort of look on his face, and he's eating his hardtack. The other person is just sitting here with the guns watching out the windows.
How have you been safe all this time up here?
Why are y'all wearing these gear?
Hail
This
Satan.
protects us from the spiders.
If it protects you from spiders,
You don't know the half in it, buddy.
well, you just ruined my escape, because I was free.
You like to think that, wouldn't you? I just saved your hide.
Listen here, you slut turd. Oh, what you talking about? What's going on?
You tell us we don't know the half of it. Let's hear it.
And the other one takes off his mask, and nothing but spiders spills out. And these spiders just start to swarm over you, all of you.
Of course.
What do you do?
Hail Satan.
I'm gonna grab one of those spiderweb guns and try to modify it to make it an anti-spider gun.
Okay, so you're grabbing it as these spiders are flowing out of this person's, or the hole where their face should be.
Well,
What is the other person who was talking to us doing? Or was that the one?
Are you gonna take a moment to like look at the other person?
I'm trying to, yes, absolutely. I'm gonna take my eyes off the spiders. I want to look at the spiders.
This person, they have a human face,
Uh-huh.
because you saw that under the mask,
Uh-huh.
but you're noticing that spiders are starting to come out from under their clothes as well.
Oh.
So it's not 3 halflings in a trench coat.
No.
it's 1,000 spiders.
We too tricked.
So you're grabbing at the gun.
Well, let me take that back. If it's like before, the same spiders are pulling up on me again, I'm not gonna go through that. So instead of grabbing the gun and trying to modify it, I'm gonna try to keep these spiders from climbing up on me.
All right, so you're like,
Yeah, stomping, doing whatever I gotta do.
All right.
Boot scooting.
Cheers.
All right, so I
Shields.
really do want to make a persuasion deception roll. We really do have jobs for you if you're hungry.
Erratic recognition. I want to see if I recognize.
Oh, that's pre-cognition.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh,
That's even better.
Yeah, that's better.
I want to see.
Yep, those are spiders, I reckon.
Give me some good,
If
brother.
there's a way out, you know, I want a precog way out.
Okay, why don't you make an intellect roll?
And I will spend effort. If you say reroll,
Don't have to.
don't have to. But I do it next week.
Okay.
14.
14.
No, reroll. 7.
7. Okay, but you applied a little bit. All right. You get a vision. And this happens to you time to time. You just get these weird kind of like flashes of insight. And you have a vision of you wrapped up in a cocoon, tearing yourself out in what looks to be like a dark room of some kind. And there are 3 other human-sized cocoons in that area.
I'm not sure I like that.
Well, I'm doing it.
And Poppy.
I'm going to run away from the spiders and hopefully find an exit from the. Are we on the roof?
You're on the 2nd floor.
The 2nd floor. Oh yes, I want to go down. I'm still looking for my blue fuzzy friend.
All right, so there is a door out of this room, but it is closed.
I will kick it.
All right. So you
That's
kick
what
it
started
down.
this whole mess.
No, what started this whole mess was taking money from Billy Tiberius. The promise of more money to deal with the spiders. Now,
Anything else you all do so we can get that in here too?
What triggers?
Spider Tiberius. Walla Walla, Washington.
Why don't you make like a might roll to kick that door?
Okay. Okay. Alright. Coming back. We can do this. We can do this.
I don't know why you.
15.
15. All right, so you kick open that door, and the door just splinters because your erratic destruction kicks in. And behind there is another person kind of wearing clothes, except you realize that like from the waist down, they're just like a cluster of long tippy-toe spider legs, like this. And you're momentarily horrified by this crazy-ass spidery vision.
Yeah.
And all the spiders just swarm over all of you, and everything goes dark.
Well, damn. I tried.
Can I ask what some of the other audience suggestions were for the environment that it could have been?
You wake up, and you feel like you've been tied up.
In a good way.
Just like that. And you're like, oh, I'm in a weird spider silk cocoon. And yeah, if you tear yourself out of this, you are in, like, you can barely see because there's no strong light in here, but like you just get the sense that you're in a room, and there's 4. You recognize Poppy's perfume, for example. Truck's snoring. Serena's snoring.
I snore loud.
Okay, I'll attempt to set them free.
All right, you're
Who
able
do you
to
set
tear-
free first?
Copy.
Yeah, so he awakens you, and as you're being torn out of these big old cocoons.
Let's go find Billy Tiberius.
You free all of us, or just
And
me?
kill,
Okay.
and killing problem.
Where are we?
I don't know.
Are we in the
You're in a
house?
dark room.
We don't know if we're in the house.
You're in a dark room.
Okay.
How cold is it in here?
It's chilly.
Is it dank?
Is it?
There's dank beams in here.
Is it sultry?
It's not so. It's Arizona. It's very sultry.
I
So
think
we'll
we're
light a lantern,
underground.
perhaps?
Hmm?
Light a lantern, perhaps?
Do we have our lanterns
Yeah.
still?
You have all your stuff.
Oh, we got all our stuff still. Okay.
Oh,
Hell
they
yes.
took our lanterns off. That was really nice.
You're so kind.
I'm letting mine.
All right. Yeah, you're in the basement, and there's the remnants of your little cocoons. There's a bunch of like debris in the corner, and a door that is closed.
That's the only way out.
I would like to check the door before we all bust it open. No point in making.
Before we
an
all
announcement.
bust it open.
No point in making a loud noise right now. They think we're in cocoons.
Are there any of the spider webs in here? Cobwebs?
Just kind of like incidental. None
Okay.
seem to be worth worrying about
Okay.
for now.
Okay. Are there any canned goods?
There's some debris. You want to search that? No? No? Okay.
Don't trust it.
All right. You're going to check the door?
Yes.
All right.
I'm going to truck. How hurt are you?
A what?
Hurt.
I'm doing all right.
Okay.
16.
Takes more than a bunch of spiders and get fired to put me down.
You are searching the door, and it's a sturdy kind of like iron bar attached to a door. There's a metal lock on it with a typical sort of Old West skeleton key sort of lock.
Okay, since I do have lock picking and they left me all of my equipment, I'd like to try the lock.
All right.
I'm gonna put some effort on it. 14.
Yeah. Hold on. Oh, hairpin. Extra set of lockpick and cloak. There you go.
That.
You know I've been able to do that all along, right?
She just likes
It
keeping it
just,
down.
it seems faster.
It seems quieter.
Spiders don't have eardrums, do they?
Are you kidding me? We're tapping out noises to us.
Well, just to make it clear, spiders, feel vibration. So,
With their little hairy legs. Okay, are there stairs as she opens the door?
It leads to a hallway. It's not stairs just yet.
Basement.
Now that
leading the way?
now that you have the door open, you recognize a very faint sound of machinery up ahead.
That's
Sounding like
sweet
what?
hum.
Something?
It's not like some kind of engine, like.
Okay.
Maybe like a train engine running really slow.
It's like a long, straight hallway that we can't see the other end of?
In your light, you only got about 30 feet, so it goes about that much and then it turns.
Okay. Let's go see what this noise is. I'm leading the way with my lantern.
I'll follow truck. He's been through a bit.
I'm a little woozy from all the venom. My flesh liquefied.
It happens.
How scorched are you?
I'm doing just fine.
I know, but like your clothes aren't.
Don't need those.
That's what he said.
truck's not insecure.
All right, so you make the turn and you go another short length, and this mechanical noise is getting louder. And all of you can definitely hear this by now. It kind of sounds like a train kind of starting up.
I thought you said we were underground.
We are underground. It would not be this cool on top of the surface. The core temperature of most underground areas is about 68 degrees.
Oh, someone didn't read.
I'm not the smart one here. You don't have to talk like that. That's just mean.
Well, you said I'm already sure we're underground. I was explaining why.
Any more secret culture things you want to share with us?
What was all
You
the
know,
hailing for?
I told you there was a cult of Satan here.
You
I thought
never told us.
you weren't listening. You were busy kicking things.
And befriending the spider.
Do you know what deception
That
is?
worked out really well.
Well, because I see you did so well in keeping us safe.
Any cobwebs in the hallway?
Yes, there's cobwebs generally
Just
everywhere.
incidental, but
Yeah,
not
but not like it's
super
not like
duper.
you're walking through a hallway of cobwebs.
Okay.
All right, I'm continuing to move toward the machine sound.
All right. You are smelling it's like burning fuel of some kind, and you
Coal
reach another
or
turn.
oil? Coil.
It's coil, yes. And the smell's getting stronger, and there's another turn. You make the turn.
Yeah.
All right. It
I'm going
opens
to peek
into
around
this-
corners first. I don't want to walk into something.
Okay. So you peek around, and you see that it opens up into this larger area, and there's like kind of like a hemisphere shaped bottom to this. There's a bunch of little kind of catwalks and things all rigged up on it. And hanging from the ceiling is a machine. And around the edges on these catwalks and stuff is the craziest thing you've ever seen. So there's like weird people that are kind of transparent, floating back and forth. And there are these spiders that are as big as a dog, kind of crawling around on various things and crawling around this machine. And the machine is like just making this mechanical noise and mechanical motion. And every now and then one of these ghosts kind of crawls into a tube in one side of the machine, and so does a spider, and then this weird kind of greenish goo gets splurched out from the other side into a big old vat.
I'd like to make a recovery roll. All right, 3.
Does the translucent people look like the ghost of he who shall not be named that you fought?
No, because some of them are women, some of them are men who obviously look very
Well,
different.
you called it a ghost, I thought. Is that like the thing that we fought that came out of the...
Yes, it's transparent like the ghost of the person who came
So
out.
they're going into this thing and being pulped.
So,
I say they do
wait.
nothing.
No. So you said the ground is like concave,
Yes,
and then this machine is suspended,
yes.
and you've got like basically a factory line of ghosts on one side.
It's not really like, you know,
They'll
Pink
line
Floyd's The
up.
Wall, everybody's lined up. It's just kind of like there's this aperture, and every now and then a spider will crawl into it, or a ghost will
A big
fly into
old
it.
dog-sized
Dog-sized
spider.
spider, yes.
And a ghost, and out pops just green goo.
Just green goo.
Is it
into
falling
a vat.
filling the hemisphere like a bowl?
No, it's
filling?
falling into a vat.
Yeah. Okay. Like funnel into that. I'm going to shoot the vat.
Okay, and it's like an iron vat.
I'm going to shoot into the vat.
Okay.
Can you stop your
I'm gonna like slide down into the
Yeah,
ground.
there are like several layers of catwalks you could probably hop onto. If you,
Oh, no.
You just want to go straight on that?
Yeah, absolutely.
I see that look in your eye, we should go to.
I'm trying to destroy whatever is creating all these tiny little spiders.
Well, no, we don't even know if that's gonna do it.
Do you see those big old spiders?
Hold on.
To what?
Chuck, quick, get in there and stop it before she does.
I'm in the class right there. I can tell you, it ain't always about just jumping in and shooting. But nothing. You just hold on.
I know which one's the older sibling.
What I need you to do is use that machine brain of yours and figure something out.
So I'm
He's
trying to
a
do.
robot?
Serena,
Yes.
what other information you got?
Well, I don't know. Let me roll some dice. So, at this point, I don't have any specific knowledges because he's the mechanic. So I went, animals and supernatural. But obviously, there's something supernatural going on here.
And animal.
And animals. So I'm going to go ahead and do a knowledge check. If I can keep my dice.
Ooh, we all do like
Wow,
the
that was
backwards roll.
really, was it 20?
It counts. The
Yes.
ground die count.
You roll it.
Yes, I know. Oh, good, because it was nothing. 15.
And you're trying to figure out what's going
I
on.
am trying to figure out what is going on and where the best place to disrupt this situation.
So, from seeing the behavior of the ghost of Billy Tiberius, and seeing enough of these spiders that have been stepped on and smushed, you might guess that they're combining the essence of a ghost with the smushed goo of a spider and putting it in that vat for some purpose.
So we've not really seen anything yet that kind of gives the impression that what the output is.
I'm sure it's for a good reason.
I'm sure. They seem very altruistic here.
Yeah, it has something to do with that vat, the vat full of goo.
Is there a control panel on the side wall, or is there something I can access to monkey this machine? Do I have to like crawl onto the machine?
It looks like you'll need to get on the machine.
Where the spiders are?
Well, spiders are kind of all over the place, but
Is
yeah,
there
there
a
are
place-
spiders on the machine.
Is there a place that's free of spiders that I can crawl to start examining a control panel?
I mean, you
Trying
can,
to.
the controls seem to be on the machine itself. And
There's,
a little
what
catwalk
I'm
up
saying, is
there.
there like one panel where there's a bunch of levers, or is it just all over?
All on the
over
machine.
It seems, no, it
Many
seems to
catwalks.
be, there's one place on the machine that has what looks like it has control apparatus.
Okay, I'm gonna try to get there.
Okay, so you're gonna have to take this catwalk and then this catwalk and then that catwalk to get up there.
Okay.
That's what you're gonna do?
Yep.
Okay.
I'd like to follow Truck because I might be able to get more information when I get up there.
Okay.
I'm trying to sneak away from Brother Program. Train instead.
Hopefully they will provide a distraction.
Yes,
for us.
that's what we're hoping.
I have an ability called mind reading. And I'm just going to see some things out, see if I see any other minds except for those that I know.
Okay.
See if there's someone else out there.
Normally you would pick a target and try and read their mind, but I will let you give this a shot just to feel around.
15.
15.
We roll that.
What in Sam Ham?
I have a very good feeling about what's going to happen on the next show.
9.
9. Okay. You're feeling around and you realize that you are kind of detecting a mental presence of each of these ghosts and of each of these dog-sized spiders.
Have I, oh, sorry, finish your turn. Have I moved
If you
far
wanted
enough?
to, you could be like focus on whether to try and read its mind.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll focus on one of the ghosts.
All right, so go ahead and make an intellect roll for that, and I'm going to address what the race question is.
Oh. I got a 4.
4.
Here, re-roll that.
Maybe.
I want it.
Beep, beep.
Here.
There.
Here, take that one.
It's a 19.
We roll that.
Say GM and Trude against them. It's a keep.
I tried that.
20. Really
In your face, audience.
I feel
Are
a
you-
schism in the Cipher Unlimited.
Are you trying to read a ghost or are you trying to read a spider?
A ghost.
A ghost, all right. The ghost is thinking, I hope it doesn't pick me next, and I hope they get enough of this stuff that the boss will be done and I can just go back to haunting my brother-in-law. Who's sleeping with my wife. Oh. That's why I'm dead. Being dead sucks. This job sucks. My life kind of sucked.
And I think to myself, you know, boy, those are some real hillbillies, because if it's his brother-in-law, then he's dealing with his own sister. But,
There's not a lot of prospects out here in Arizona. She's adopted.
He's thinking of this.
before she slips away, I made her go,
Yes.
she needs to find the control. Because apparently these ghosts and spiders have some real thoughts going on.
I mean, ghosts should have
I was
thoughts.
really able to read.
That's good. Ghosts were humans.
Well, I just found out that there's a boss
Of
of what's going on here.
the ghosts?
A boss that wants the ghosts and the spiders. to
I
make
would
the good.
certainly hope the machine is not the boss. I mean, like, of course, if there's a machine, you gotta have a system, and the system needs a boss.
Bob, listen
Uh,
to what I'm saying.
yes.
We need to find the boss. We gonna let Trump go over there to figure out the machine.
Okay.
So that conversation is going on.
I'm almost, well, I see them over there
If I go
talking.
While we're walking, I want to go ahead and.
I can
activate
find
my
the boss,
effort
because the
against
boss
her
wants the
non-combat.
goo. So what if I just slip into goo?
You know, I'll do my intention.
That's what we're gonna do too.
But I want powers like you.
So you are going to sneak up
I
there.
want to use my erratic movement to crawl to the control panel in such a dazzling way that I avoid notice of any spiders in my way.
All right. Well, you go ahead and make a sneak roll, and I'll give you an asset on that.
Did you say a speed defense roll?
No.
I was like, so great.
I used my
Snake in
3 level
here.
effort that I just gave you.
Okay.
Oh, you know what?
17.
Okay.
You know, I'm gonna give you this.
all tasks involving manual dexterity. So I rolled a 17, and I used effort, and
Well, this is a subtle cipher though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
These are all subtle.
Okay,
So
Yeah.
you keep that.
Yeah.
Has that. But you rolled
Thank you,
17.
but I rolled well enough anyway.
And you had an asset from your erratic movement, and you
And-
leveled the free level up for that. Yeah, so you sneak on by, and are you going with him? I assume?
Well, yes, but I also have stealth in disguise, so I make myself look like one of the
spider.
spider people.
a spider person or a ghost person?
Oh, a ghost person, that's even
She's
better.
gonna put on some pale makeup.
Yes.
Whoa, I'm Serena!
And I rolled a 3, but I am trained in 2 different.
There you roll that.
Well, I'm gonna say that because Ray rolled so well,
Well,
Right.
okay,
that
rolled
he's
a-
kind of providing cover, and it's like, he's kind of minimizing, like, wait, and you're like, no, let's go now. No, there's one right there. The two of you get up to this mechanical panel. Right around the time that you two realize you're still having a conversation and the two of them are stuck on it.
Right.
But you can see them like up on the machine.
Yes. If I have to find a boss, like I was saying, I should go to the vat because the boss would be interested in the product, the result, the goo, right? If I go inside the goo, I just slide on down there, and I'm like just eking out away from brother.
I wish everybody at home could see Dean's face right now.
Just take a little dip.
All right, so Poppy, I lead you. Are you gonna try and be stealthy and get down there, or are you just gonna charge up?
Stealthy.
All right, why don't you make a stealth roll?
Train.
Gosh, she says train.
17.
17, very nice. Okay, so you're kind of like hiding under a catwalk and working your way over there and saying, okay, this spider is
Not blue?
not blue, because these dog-sized spiders is not your little
Right,
blue
I
friend.
mean, they're,
Your friend might be around somewhere.
I hope so.
And you get up to this big vat of this greenish goo.
Yes.
Provost.
Does it smell good?
No, it smells
Well,
like spider
that's
guts.
nice.
Kind of spooky spider guts.
I'm just watching.
Spider and ghost guns.
Because once you get set on something, we already know it's almost impossible to. So I'm just gonna stay observant and watch my friend's back. And my
You've left me to my own device.
impulsive, crazy little sister.
You're at the mechanism. We're at the controls.
Okay. I'm gonna try to make sense of it and see if I can turn the machine on, off, faster, slower, whatever I can do to it.
All right, I mean, there's a bunch of controls here. It seems to be like controlling the speed of the mechanism, how fast it processes stuff. There seems to be something that kind of like does a steam whistle.
Don't pull that
Is
one.
there a big red button that says, do not press this button?
No, it would be a switch, because it's,
Okay.
the Wild West. And there is something that kind of like, there's like a combustion sort of thing going on and heating some of this goo before it gets scorched out. So you could like shut down the movement of the engine part. You could turn up or down the temperature of the goo before it gets splurted out. You could probably affect the velocity of the splurting.
Who's a lava truck?
I don't know. It seems to be taking care of a problem for us. I'm trying to think of a way. If I shut this down, it'll stop pulping the spiders and ghosts, which we don't want that.
We didn't deal
So-
with dog-sized spiders. Were they the
Yeah.
size?
Is there anything, well, I guess I don't know. Yeah, I'll go for the combustion controls to see if I can slow or stop this machine.
Well, I have a thought.
Oh, you're right there too. Yeah, that's fine.
First, I'd like to read the control panel.
Okay.
Read.
Stop for directions. I know that's hard for some people. Is there a valve to empty the vat?
No.
Yes.
They're not playing. No, the vat seems to be a completely separate thing. It's just like a separate vat over there.
And we see Poppy.
Approaching like, oh, is there a
Looking
control
like she
vat?
wants
And you're
to
like, oh, there's
dive into
Poppy.
it.
Poppy's like, da-da-da-da-da.
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay, so there's nothing we can read. There's no instructions.
I mean, there's writing on it, and like, it actually, because you have an innate knowledge of mechanisms, you have a better sense of this. You're kind of like temperature control, velocity, blah, blah, blah. And so it's got various things. And you're like, well, clearly this has to relate to the boiling temperature of this. This is the fuel line. And this.
Yeah, no, but I wanted to make sure that I was going to be able to be an asset for him. When
Oh,
he
yeah,
started
yeah, you
doing
know what's
stuff.
going on.
All right.
'Cause that's all.
Shutting her down.
So it seems like in a train engine, there is the fuel that's making the engine work, but there seems to be a separate compartment that is controlling a temperature-based thing, kind of like how a hot water heater heats water and is not necessarily part of the locomotion of the train, although like the train, actually, they are very related, so forget I said that. But there's a separate thing.
It's weird.
So it's like the nuclear fuel rods being cooled down.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying? This is a nuclear device.
No,
Oh.
there's like something going on. It's like
Okay.
the goo from the spiders and the ghost comes in here, and it's being heated to a certain temperature before
Oh.
it gets forced out.
Okay.
Which is unrelated to the mechanism that handles like the pulping action and the spraying action.
Okay.
Force out where? We just.
Into the back.
Into the
Oh,
back.
oh, oh.
So there's some kind of catalyst in there that also requires heating.
And another ghost comes in, and the spider goes in.
See, I'm not so sure I want to stop that.
But
But
you should find
I want
out.
You're like right up close, so you realize that the vat is actually really full,
Yeah.
and it's bubbling.
Can I see that too?
It's not like giant, like comically cauldron bubbles, but you're like, there's bubbling going on. You're like, it's a teapot.
I'm gonna lick my finger and touch the outside of the vat to see how hot it is.
It's warm, not warm enough to burn you, but it's definitely warm.
I'm going to hug the outside of the vat, because inevitably another vat's coming. I'm gonna go find the boss, brother.
You have a migraine, I think.
And you're just gonna like cling to it like this?
Yes.
You're climbing, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you're like, ka-chunk, and you like got your, you're just holding on, and you realize there's something moving in the goo in the vat.
Oh.
Like you kind of grab onto it and you just kind of felt like something physical, something solid in there, shift position.
Okay. The goo is not even semi-translucent.
No, it's pretty
Very
opaquely
opaque,
green.
okay.
I didn't notice the charm runes on that vat, but Poppy seemed to be very taken with it.
You know what it's like.
Provost, what are you doing? They're like fiddling, look at the mechanism. Oh, they're looking at the mechanism. Oh, this and that. And Poppy has now just gone and grabbed onto the vat after testing how it works.
Do I see a plug on the bottom of the vat or anything like that?
Because you're up above, you have no line of sight to the bottom of the vat.
Okay.
Somebody could shoot the vat. Well, you still playing that glass.
Right.
That was my original plan. And he was like, it's all metal. And I'm
So,
like,
of course, your second plan was to hug the vat.
Yes,
If you can't kill it, love it, what?
I thought I was on the brown one. Remember, they all
No,
You're
so you
in
guys
the
came in
middle.
here, they took the catwalk up to the machine, which is hanging from the ceiling, and then she slid down. It's like at the bottom half of a spherical
bowl.
space.
It's a giant bowl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It's
so
super
you guys kind of came in at this level, they climbed up to here, Poppy's now down here.
On the
Okay, I'm
super.
gonna head down. Let me just see.
Bring biscuits
That's what I'm looking for.
and gravy.
All right, so you're gonna go looking at the bottom of the vat?
Mhm.
All right, make a stealth roll to get down there, please. What's Team Tech doing up on top?
So, there's temperature gauges, and this vat's being kept at a specific temperature.
Well,
12.
12, okay, so you're sneaking down there. It's not really like this is set to 257 degrees. It's like the temperature setting is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
What's it at now?
4.
So we could either drop it all the way and stop the reaction that's going on inside, or we can crank it up and possibly cook whatever is happening a little more.
I'm gonna drop it down to 1.
Okay. Now you know because this is a big metal machine, it probably will take a small amount of time to cool down to that.
And as soon as I do that, I'm gonna start working on the controls.
Okay. But initially you're turning the temperature of whatever the separate mixture
Yeah,
thing is.
as
down
cold as
to
it can
1.
go.
Okay, well that'd be 1.
So we could even then try to even cool, like start kind of turning down the power on other stuff so that things start to go slower.
Right.
Rather than off altogether.
Okay, that's what we're doing next.
Poppy, the vat is not moving.
Damn.
Language.
Hey.
Our nation.
But you definitely feel something still moving, like more actively inside it, almost like whatever it is can sense that you are right there.
I
Here comes
feel love
Provost
connection
sneaking
coming
up.
on.
Here's your brother.
So, Provost, I see you coming to save me because there's something inside this van. Should I shoot down in it? I could do. I have purchase here. I could shoot into the van. I was just trying to be good.
Use my mind reading again
Okay.
Oh,
and
it's close to me.
see what I can get.
Try to read whatever's inside the vat.
Yes.
Okay.
19.
We roll back.
Poor old Dean.
12.
12. All right. Yeah, there's definitely a mind in there, and the mind is saying, soon all of the pieces will be in place. You get
Does
the
the
mental
mind-
image of like hands going like
Somebody rubbing their hands together.
So, as a mayor, so do I find a plug on that vat or anything?
We spent this action was to try the mind reading.
Does the mind sound blue?
So Provost, the mind does not sound blue to you.
No, it's not blue.
So we noticed that we're running out of time because it looks like things are starting to change on the board. So I think maybe we should be more aggressive.
Yeah, after turning down the temp, like I said, we're gonna try to shut down the whole machine.
Okay. Why don't you make a machine roll?
And I will assist.
Machine crafting, a skill roll?
You could use that, or
Okay.
your repair, or your
I already-
accessibility.
All right. 6.
Okay. You're like, maybe if I turn this down, that should be a thing. I mean, you're getting assistance from Serena.
As an asset?
Yes.
Okay.
So that counts as a.
See, this one actually says steam valve.
You're like, oh, that's clearly it's a mislead. This right here that says does nothing. I'm going to fill it out.
Okay.
So you start to work on the machine, and it kind of like it has a weird lurch and shudders a bit, and the kind of splurty end kind of goes and just kind of does this weak splurt of brownish goo
Oh,
instead of green goo, and it kind of like half lands in the vat and half lands on you two.
Yep.
Sorry.
Is it cold?
It's less warm than the vat is,
Okay.
but not cold enough to be refreshing.
Like room temperature goo. It's my favorite.
And it smells gross.
Yeah.
And the whatever is inside the vat starts to like be a lot more physically active.
Okay. Would this be a place where erratic destruction could be involved?
Sure. Are you intentionally trying to break the vat now?
Yeah.
I'm so glad we're up here.
Why don't you make a might roll or a breaking roll?
I'm going to apply effort in this case. 19.
19, nice. All right. So you're
Big
like,
bear.
oh, you know, if I kick out this one side strut supporting it, I could just knock this thing over. And so you just kick that out and kind of turn it over halfway, hoping that as it lands, it'll kind of crack. And that's exactly what it does. It cracks, a big chunk of it comes off, and all this goo comes splooshing out. And inside is the giantest spider that you have ever seen. This spider is probably 200 or 300 pounds. It's just dripping with this goo, and it kind of like rises itself up, and it's like kind of spilled out away from you. And it turns around, and it's the freakiest thing because it's got like 6 eyes up on the top of its head, and 2 eyes kind of frontally located in the middle of Billy Tiberius's face. He says, I need that!
Does he have mandibles?
Yes. Mandibles and a human mouth. It's all just disgusting and gross.
When he says, I need that, Provost goes, no, you read this. Bah! 7.
7. It just kind of like blasts off some of the goo that's like stuck to its shoulder.
Brother Provost once said that spiders can't, there's oxygen in the air, and you're too big to hold yourself up in your exoskeleton.
So you're gonna convince him that he can't exist?
He can't, move. You just gotta stay there. He's so fat.
You're right, he disappears.
Come logic. So the two of you see Poppy just kind of break this thing open and crack it open, and then it's the face of Billy Tiberius.
Oh, I knew I didn't kill that son of a bitch.
So, initiative.
For everyone.
Everyone.
Okay.
2.
No, 12. 17.
4.
4. All right, so Poppy gets to go.
I am going to rear up my shotgun and shoot it in the abdomen.
Okay.
So is he just actually standing there with all 8 legs?
Yeah, he's like a spider that's got a human face.
Right. Fat butt. Yep, shoot in the butt. 3.
3.
And then,
It just kind of, your salt
crap.
scatters off
I
of his
forgot to
hair.
reload with real bullets this time.
He's going to go, and he's going to attack you. So you need to make a speed defense roll.
Yes, trained. 10.
10. All right, so he reaches out, and his weird spider mouth opens up,
So
and his
creepy.
human mouth opens up like really freakishly wide, and there's all these weird kind of like hair-like teeth inside, and he bites you, and you take 5 points of damage, and I need you to make a might roll because
Okay.
these are venomous.
Trained. 10.
10. Okay, you take 3 points of speed damage.
Okay. So how many mice? So much.
5 might,
You're
3 speed.
killing me small.
All right, the rest of you can all go.
So we're not in danger from this thing.
No, I think it's time to just walk out.
That's courageous.
Well, my last attempt failed to shut down the machine. I'm gonna keep trying to do that.
Okay, well, I mean, it's a process, so you're like, go ahead and make another roll. You hit.
What did he roll? What did he have?
15.
Somehow that one didn't get re-rolled.
Let me live.
And you do 4 points of damage?
Yes.
All right, so you blast a chunk of one of his legs off. And it's kind of weird because now that you're like saying, hey, I was talking about his exoskeleton, he's got like human bones inside the interior of this spider leg. He's just like this weird mix of both. It's really disgusting.
When we talked to Billy Tiberius before, did we notice that he was actually a giant spider?
That might have been something we could have noticed.
Oddly enough, you didn't notice that.
Okay. I rolled an 18 for shutting down the machine.
All right, yeah, you're like, oh, this, and I gotta stick my finger in the safety valve over here, and there. And the splurch thing makes like one last splurch, and this kind of like brownish gray goo splurches out and hits where the vat was, and fortunately not where you are now. Narrowly misses
It's
you.
Billy?
So it does not hit Billy because
Spider
he's
Billy?
beyond. He is beyond. Safely beyond. There you go. And now the two of you, the siblings. Did you hit?
I didn't
She
go.
did.
That was like.
Oh, that's right, you
Yeah.
did. Sorry, I was assuming you're helping, but.
While he's shutting everything down, is there any way it looks like we can overpower the steam and cause an explosion on the floor?
On the floor?
It's
Well,
there on the destruction aid.
We're getting to it. I have to figure this out first.
Like, this seems to be the main mechanism. There's no other mechanism.
Oh, okay,
so you
so-
could blow this thing up.
Oh, no, we don't want to
Can we
do
push
that.
the machine over so it lands on
See,
Spider
as you
Billy?
bolted to this.
Okay.
Oh,
You can start.
I was gonna say, can I use lockpicking, disabling security to break this loose?
Sure, you can start working on
I'm
it.
gonna do that, and it's a non-combat roll, so I'd like to fund mine. So 14, trained in the SM.
All right, you're like, oh, I can loosen this bolt right here, get 2 more of these, and this thing will come crashing down.
There you go. Get ready to jump.
Okay, I am trained in running. I'm trained in climbing. I'm going to climb Spider Billy Tiberius. Hopefully, shoot him in the head next turn.
Okay.
You're gonna climb on him?
Yes. I have 2 rounds before something comes crashing down. He's technically not under the machine, so I gotta rear him over there. I would like to re-roll that.
Okay.
It's just a 3, no free intrusion. None here. 8.
You have kind of grabbed onto his abdomen, but he's very slippery from all this goo. So
Whoa,
you're still
Lewis.
struggling to get up there.
All right, I'm gonna spend some effort and I'm going to amp up my damage. You know, extra elemental dust to bust Billy in the face.
Hey,
18.
18.
We roll that.
Hey guys, some of us have a game to be running like in 3 minutes. Can we just cut that out?
20. So we're going to
see,
do
that's
20.
what you get.
And you did extra damage. So that's 7 points for the extra level of effort. And yeah, you blast a big old chunk out of this guy. And just because I know that we are running out of time, that kind of nudges him forward. You jump on his back, steer him towards the underneath the machine. With your jumping skill, you jump off at the last second. You realize what she's doing. You start loosening the other bolts and stuff. The machine comes crashing down and lands on the head of Spider Billy Tiberius.
Hail Satan!
You were the closest. It was the closest.
That's our story and we're sticking to it.
So that's Instant Adventures 2019. Obviously something in the improv adventure is going to tend to get very silly, but that's the whole point, is having fun. I hope you all had a good time with this one this year. Thank you very much to our crazy band of players. And for bringing up with the weird mix of spiders, ghosts, and demons, which doesn't necessarily make sense, but it makes for a crazy weird story.
And thank you to Sean for running it.
Thanks to Garrett for the tech, and I hope you all have a great Gen Con.
Sorry, Dean.
Yeah, there we go.
Are you so? Are you really?
You were really sorry you buying the drink.
Of course it was.